Eli Manning returns to a standing ovation from Giants fans. The circumstances that led to Eli Manning's consecutive game streak ending were unnecessary and unfortunate. But it led to a heck of a moment for the New York Giants quarterback. Manning started on Sunday after he was reinstalled as quarterback once Ben McAdoo was fired as head coach. And as the Giants offense took the field for the first time Sunday, the Giants fans rose and gave a loud and deserved ovation to the quarterback who has led them to 2 Super Bowl wins. Not that Manning couldn't have guessed what he has meant to Giants fans over his career, but that moment had to be special for him. Manning also threw a touchdown near the end of the first half against the Dallas Cowboys to give the Giants a 10-3 lead. Any notion that Geno Smith was a better option than Manning was fairly ridiculous. The lead didn't last as the Cowboys eventually won 30-10. Manning had 210 consecutive starts. Then McAdoo told him he was going to play other quarterbacks with the Giants well out of the playoff race. Manning didn't want to start simply to keep the streak going. So he sat the bench last week. McAdoo's ridiculous handling of that situation was criticized heavily and was a factor in him being fired earlier this week. McAdoo will go down in Giants lore as the coach who snapped Manning's long streak for no real reason. Manning didn't want to sit, but Giants fans were able to let Manning know on Sunday exactly how much they respect and appreciate him. Check out new uniform combination Cowboys are wearing versus Giants, which is a first in team history. Update: December 10, the Dallas Cowboys are doing something they've never done before against the New York Giants. Of all the uniform combos Dallas has ever used, as seen above, the navy jerseys with white pants that are being worn today are a first in team history. You can check them out below. What did Cowboys owner Jerry Jones think of the new combo? Here's what he told sideline reporter and Sports Day special contributor Christy Scales before the game. "First of all, I've always thought our uniforms were one of the best things about us," he said. "And of course, that happened before I got to be a part of the Dallas Cowboys. Well, this has happened since I've been a part of the Cowboys. And I thought it was a good compromise. We have this color rush games policy in the NFL. Ours is all white. As it happens, New York's is all white. So, I thought it was a great compromise to come out with our traditional blue and these white pants." More from Jones: "I think color rush is probably one that will be a changing. The very nature of it is to create some fashion and create some interest in what color rush is every year. I don't know that we're looking at anything. Our traditional, I call it Yankee pinstripe, which is Cowboys white in the color pants that look so great on television in particular. We won't depart from that." Read more on the change below. Original story: December 5. For the first time in team history, the Dallas Cowboys will wear navy jerseys with white pants when they play the Giants at MetLife Stadium on Sunday. The Cowboys' navy jerseys are normally worn with silver pants. The color of uniforms for each game are determined by the home team. The Giants will wear their all-white color rush uniforms this weekend. Because the Giants will be in white jerseys, the Cowboys will wear their navy jerseys. But instead of silver pants, the Cowboys this weekend will wear the white pants they wore for Week 13's color rush game. Their decision to wear white pants is based on a couple of different factors. Several veteran players, like Dez Bryant, have lobbied over the years for the navy white combination because they think it will look good. Dallas Cowboys merchandising agrees with the sentiment and knew this Game 14 scenario with the Giants wearing all-white color rush uniforms provided a unique opportunity to try the new color combination. Color rush uniforms are usually worn for Thursday night football, but the Giants' lone Thursday game this season was Thanksgiving night at the Redskins. And that contest was not designated a color rush game. The Giants, therefore, chose their Week 14 home game against the Cowboys because, according to Giants equipment director Joe Skiba, they wanted to do a game the fans are going to be excited for and amped up for. That's definitely the Dallas home game. Cowboys WR Bryce Butler among 7 inactive players Sunday at New York Giants. East Rutherford, NJ. Dallas Cowboys receiver Bryce Butler won't play Sunday at the New York Giants because of a foot injury that has bothered him in recent weeks. Butler is among the 7 Cowboys players inactive for Sunday's game. Also inactive. RB Trey Williams, CB Orlando Scandrick, LB Justin Durant, DL David Irving, DT Daniel Ross, T Blake Jarwin. Butler popped up on the Cowboys injury practice report Thursday with his foot injury, Cowboys coach Jason Garrett said. However, the foot has bothered him in recent weeks. Butler was limited in practice Thursday and Friday. This is the first game Butler has been inactive for all season. He has 13 catches for 267 yards and 2 touchdowns this year. Expect rookie receiver Noah Brown to get more opportunities for the Cowboys against the Giants. Scandrick fractured back, Irving concussion and Durant concussion were officially ruled out Saturday for the game and didn't fly with the team to New York. The 7 players inactive Sunday for the New York Giants. QB Davis Webb, WR Tavares King, WR Travis Rudolph, CB Eli Apple, OT Justin Pugh, LB Jay Goodson, DT Kerry Thornton. Eli Manning begins new streak with Giants, and it could be a sight to behold. Eli Manning's consecutive start streak for the New York Giants will start anew Sunday. It will make for an interesting scene at the Meadowlands. It's rare for the Giants, a tradition-laden franchise known for its stability, to be in a state of upheaval. But that was the case this week, as co-owners John Mara and Steve Tisch fired coach Ben McAdoo and general manager Jerry Reese. The house cleaning came with 4 games left in a miserable season in which the Giants have stumbled to 2-10. And a week after McAdoo sat down Manning to end his streak of consecutive regular season starts at 210. Steve Spagnuolo, elevated from defensive coordinator to interim head coach, wasted little time reinstating Manning as the starter for this weekend's game against the Dallas Cowboys. It doesn't exactly right the wrong inflicted upon Manning by McAdoo's clumsy handling of the attempt to get late-season looks at Geno Smith and rookie Davis Webb. But it at least restores the rightful status quo and calms what had been a volatile situation. It's important to play, Manning said during his weekly meeting with reporters. That's what I love to do. I love to play quarterback. I love playing quarterback for the New York Giants. That's what I work on. Last week something different was asked of me. I tried to do to the best of my abilities helping Geno and being the backup. But if I knew, I'd want the opportunity to be the starting quarterback again. The Giants, who lost at Oakland last Sunday with Smith at quarterback, avoided what could have been an ugly scene in their first game at MetLife Stadium since the benching. Fans were outraged. Former Giants players were in virtual revolt. A group of Manning's former teammates reportedly had been planning to show up at the game outfitted in Manning jerseys. Now, the game is likely to be a celebration of what the 2-time Super Bowl winner has meant to the franchise, rather than another dreary afternoon in a gloomy season. I feel for Coach McAdoo, Manning said. He's been a great coach to me, a great friend. We had a great relationship. I hope we continue to have one. I was able to have a good talk with him Sunday before the game, and then got to see him Monday, before he left as well. I have great respect for Coach McAdoo. I don't think this is his fault. But obviously this is where the team is. The Giants had to make a decision. That's what happens when you're 2-10. Spagnuolo's decision to go back to Manning seemed automatic once McAdoo was ousted. Just in case it wasn't, Manning made certain to let Spagnuolo know that he wanted the job. I just wanted him to know that I do want to play, Manning said. I want to be the starting quarterback. I want to be out there. I just wanted to make sure he knew that. He said that he was going to think about it and talk with the coaches, but his gut said that I would be the starting quarterback. So I'm happy that he went with that decision, and he has the faith in me that we can go win this football game with me as the quarterback. Manning called the support he received from fans after his benching overwhelming. He said he does not have retirement on his mind. And, even with the Giants likely to use the lofty draft choice that's coming their way on a quarterback, Manning said he is not necessarily eager to be on his way out of the organization at season's end. "This is all I know, is playing for the New York Giants," he said. "I've never wished to change that. I appreciate everything the Giants organization has done for me. You've got so much family in this building, from the Mara family and the Tisch family. People in the equipment room and the film room and the training room. I've known a lot of these people for 14 years and growing up around them. And so this is all I know. I'm gonna finish out the season, and then I'm sure there will be a discussion with the organization to figure out what's the plan going forward." Around the league, Browns and Rooney Rule. The Cleveland Browns are saying they complied with the Rooney Rule in their fast GM search. They are not saying, however, which minority candidate or candidates they interviewed to comply with the rule. The Browns announced the hiring of John Dorsey as their general manager Thursday night, after firing front office executive Sashi Brown earlier in the day. It will be interesting to see if the league and the Fritz Pollard Alliance, the diversity group that works closely with the NFL on its hiring practices, ultimately agree that the Browns complied. Gettleman and Giants. The early speculation is that Dave Gettleman, the former general manager of the Carolina Panthers, could be the favorite in the Giants' GM search. That makes sense. Gettleman is available after being ousted by the Panthers before the season. He oversaw a Super Bowl team in Carolina, and he has history with the Giants. His one-time boss with the Giants, former GM Ernie Accorsi, is serving as a consultant in the team's current search. But the Giants should be careful, despite the familiarity factor. It was Marty Herney, not Gettleman, who assembled much of the Panthers' key Super Bowl talent. And Gettleman's still puzzling decision to remove the franchise player tag from cornerback Josh Norman and allow him to leave for Washington was a factor in the Panthers falling out of the playoffs last season. Is Jones versus Goodell really done? The 5-year contract extension between NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and the Owners' Compensation Committee is not only completed, it's also signed. That removes much of the drama from next week's owners' meeting in Dallas, which once was shaping up to be a showdown between the Cowboys' Jerry Jones and fellow owners over Goodell's extension. Jones has rescinded his threat to sue. He undoubtedly still will have some things to say, behind closed doors and otherwise, but there probably is nothing that Jones can do at this point to prevent Goodell from remaining in office. Targeting rule. The NFL's pronouncement this week that the rulemaking competition committee will give off-season consideration to a college-style targeting rule, by which a player could be ejected from a game for an illegal hit, subject to confirmation by an instant replay review, is compelling. There is a decent chance the consideration goes nowhere. The committee already made a move in that direction by issuing its directive before the season that the most egregious illegal hits should result in the offending player being ejected by officials or suspended by the league, even for a first offense. But adding replay to the equation could be problematic. The competition committee consistently has taken the position over the years that judgment calls by the officials should not be subject to replay scrutiny. It therefore would require an abrupt shift in replay philosophy for the NFL to adopt the college version of the rule. Extra points. It's fine that Aaron Rodgers is back and practicing with the Green Bay Packers. It's great that he is said to be looking good. But by the time he's eligible to play December 17, there might not be any good reason for the Packers to allow him to. They are 2 games out of a wild card spot with 4 games left. The Packers' realistic playoff chances could be all but extinguished, and the risk of a re-injury by Rodgers would outweigh their minuscule postseason hopes. Remember when Tony Romo came back and broke his collarbone? So Geno Smith, who once lost his starting job with the Jets because of a broken jaw suffered via a then-teammate's punch, now loses his starting job due to the backlash over a New York icon being clumsily benched. It's been an interesting career, to say the least.